Today, China has weapons capable of instilling fear into the world's most powerful states. In recent years, Western experts have become increasingly concerned about China's growing military might. And they are worried for good reason, because Chinese leaders believe that to achieve the Chinese dream, they must have the strongest army in the world. China's military strength has grown at a rapid pace over the past 20 years. Recently, it became known about the use of microwave weapons by China in a border conflict with India on the border of two countries in the Himalayas. According to Professor Jian Zhang, 2 strategic points were recaptured without a single shot being fired. The Chinese military managed to literally turn the mountain peaks into stoves. After 15 minutes, everyone who was on the peaks started to vomit uncontrollably. So everyone just ran away from there, he said. And this is not the first such precedent. And more recently, China said it would build up its nuclear program and increase the number of nuclear warheads by at least 5 times. For this purpose, China has already begun a series of tests of a new type of nuclear weapon. What else China is planning to do to solve its geopolitical problems remains a mystery, but the weapons it has brought out from behind the scenes are enough to show the world its growing military might. Today, we will talk about the latest Chinese weapons of 2023 and the latest military tests of a new super powerful weapon. You're on the Caro Show channel, and we are starting. What better characterizes an army than the state of the Air Force? And in this regard, China has something to boast of. It was one of the first to join the club of 5th-generation fighters with its J-20. The J-20 made its maiden flight on January 11, 2011, and 6 years later it was put into service. The design of the aircraft is classified, but many elements of the airframe, aerodynamic scheme, nose and cockpit canopy, location of air intakes are similar to the Soviet prototype MiG 1.44 and American serial fighters F-22 and F-35. The J-20 is a relatively large tactical duck aerodynamic combat aircraft with a large delta-shaped wing. The aircraft is about 25 meters long and has a wingspan of 15 meters. Maximum takeoff weight is around 40 tons. The weight of the construction is half of that. But what are the Chinese actually hiding? According to experts, this aircraft hides a lot of technology ahead of our time, but also a lot of shortcomings. It is not invisible to radars. There is plenty of evidence for that. For example, in January 2018, the onboard radar of the Indian Su-30 Mki detected and tracked J-20 fighters flying over Tibet. According to Western experts, Chinese developers have not yet completed the XNWS-15 engines, which according to the project, should be equipped with the J-20. And that is why Russian AL-31FN power systems are currently being installed on these planes. And also there are claims to the J-20 airborne radar stations. Only tests in combat conditions will show the real power of the J-20 fighter. We are moving to the water surface, where the Chinese launched their second aircraft carrier and launched a third in June 2022. Today we will talk about Shandong. It was launched in 2017. This is the second Chinese aircraft carrier after the Liaoning and the first built entirely in China. The project is Soviet, but with significant innovations. Heavy weapons were dismantled, the island was reduced, and additional tanks for jet fuel and ammunition appeared instead, as well as an area for 8 aircraft and helicopters. The ship has an upgraded radar. The aircraft carrier is 315 meters long and 75 meters wide. Displacement at standard load is 55,000 tons, and at full load 70,000 tons. On board are 32 Shenyang J-15 carrier-based fighters, 4 Harbin Z-9 helicopters, and 8 Chang'e Z-18 helicopters. The Chinese have been extremely pragmatic in trying to match the strength and military power of the United States in order to ultimately challenge them. And they did it mainly through weapons, which are much cheaper to produce than what they destroy. Of course, there are certain narrow areas in which China is more advanced. These areas include hypersonic missiles. China is investing in hypersonic missiles mainly to show the rest of the world that it can develop advanced military solutions. Because of the word hypersonic, people focus on how fast these missiles fly. But actually the biggest problem when it comes to defense is that they can fly very low due to the rounded shape of the Earth. If you have a radar system, you won't see the missile until the very last minute, making it difficult to intercept. The broader strategic issue is that China is more advanced in this area than the US. It causes great concern about how far the United States is technologically behind this military industry. The Chinese showed missiles at the parade in 2019, and the United States, in turn, will receive the first battery of such missiles for testing only this year, 2023. So this is an incredible benefit. And while the US lags behind China in hypersonic technology, China is rapidly closing the gap. At present, the designers of the Qian Aircraft Industrial Corporation are developing the first strategic supersonic stealth nuclear bomber under the symbol XUN-20. The number 20 indicates a maximum speed of 2 strokes. It will be a copy of a very famous American bomber. Write the name in the comments if you understand what kind of bomber we are talking about. What about tanks? China has a tank called the VT-4. At least something became known about him after the party arrived in Nigeria, where he was first used in a military operation. The Chinese tank is known to have a new 1,300 horsepower turbocharged diesel engine. The vehicle is also equipped with a digital fire control system, a 125mm smoothbore gun, 12 and 7mm anti-aircraft, and 7 and 62mm machine guns. The tank weighs 51 tons. This is all that is known about him so far. The appearance of this tank on the African market means the beginning of fierce competition with the post-Soviet countries for a place in the sun. I wonder if this tank will be able to displace the modernized Soviet models. Another achievement of the Chinese rocket scientists is the DF-17 ballistic nuclear missile. A few years ago, they were shown at a military parade in Beijing. According to experts, the DF-17 is capable of speeds up to 5 times the speed of sound. In addition, it uses a separating warhead with individual guidance units, which allows you to hit multiple targets when launching one missile, and makes it difficult to track and intercept. The DF-17 missile can be equipped with both conventional and nuclear warheads. According to unofficial statements in January 2023, China secretly conducted a series of nuclear tests, which somehow managed to hide. Chinese artillery systems are going through a period of creating their own designs. For example, the AFT-10 multi-purpose missile system with the HE-10 anti-tank guided missile. The AFT-10 complex is made on the chassis of the ZBD-04A infantry fighting vehicle and developed by the Chinese State Rocket and Space Corporation China Aerospace Science. The AFT-10 was first demonstrated during the Peace Mission 2014 exercise. The complex is very versatile, so as not to bore you with numbers, let's just say that this baby has a wide range of combat use options, including fire and forget, command guidance, and the implementation of complex flight trajectories, target acquisition, and retargeting after launch, shooting at an invisible target with a closed positions. Not many people can hide from this complex. KJ-600 reconnaissance aircraft. The aircraft has just recently completed tests. It is designed for aircraft carriers, but it remains to be seen whether it can be used on the 2 ships already completed. The KJ-600 is based on the N-24 and carries radar with a scanning system that should help identify the American F-22 and F-35. Chinese aircraft carriers currently rely on early warning helicopters for reconnaissance missions, but they can only carry smaller radars, have limited speed, and only cover a radius of about 200 kilometers, while a fixed-wing early warning aircraft can cover 400 to 500 kilometers. As of right now, it is unlikely that the KJ-600 will fly from China's existing Type 001 Liaoning and Type 002 Shandong carriers, as those ships are equipped with ski jump ramps instead of catapults. China doesn't want to lag behind other countries and is trying to create its own projects. As recent events show, he is doing quite well. Write in the comments which of the Chinese weapons you liked more. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit on the like button and subscribe to the Caro Show channel. Goodbye.